Alright, hi, welcome back. I'm Kermit the Streamer. We are doing another Path of Exile 2 video. We are going back to deliver some special spikes to this tree that we found in the forest. That's going to give us our hooded one guy. He's still going to be kind of incapacitated when we first bring him back to town, so he won't be able to identify goods for us, but he will allow us to advance the plot. And I believe that allows us the chance to go to this place called the Gnarled Tangle. One of the things I'm going to try to do while I'm here in the Grillwood, though, is there is a boss that gives us a little bit of a leg up in the early game. We're going to go try to see if we can find that boss and kill it.
What happened here?
But we'll go ahead and do this first, just in case we get like a skill point or something for doing it. I don't remember. Una might give us like a weapon talent or something. Could be wrong. Yeah, no, it doesn't look like she gave us anything. She's going to take the hooded guy back to Clearfell, but we're actually going to go on our own little trek here. I think the minion is doing the attack. Either that or I'm just hitting the wrong button for it. Am I hitting the wrong button? It can't be this button all the way over here. No. Yeah, I think I'm doing something wrong with that. I'm going to check that out and see if gas arrow actually does what it's supposed to. Hey, we got a better scepter. So this, no. We'll go ahead and let's look at our basic skeletons now with the level 2. Level 2, that basically doubled their damage. And since it wasn't showing, maybe it is showing with the skill bump. It just doesn't seem right though, because if their base damage, let's look at that again, their base damage is supposed to be 2 to 5. This went up to, let's take a look. Yeah, main hand physical damage. Maybe that's, no, that's, no. So main hand 3-3. So they're basically doing 3 damage per hit there. When we slot this in, it says they're doing 4 to 7, so it is doubling their damage to go up a level on the ability. And then this went from 3 to 5. That just doesn't seem like it tracks with, dang it, I keep hitting K, the fact that this should be 8%, 8%, 8%, 8%, 16%, so should be 30 to 40% more damage, and that just doesn't seem right. Maybe it is though. Let's do all that math. Let's just say it's 40% more damage. Yeah, no, that's not right. It just doesn't seem like that's right at all. So there's something going wrong with that tooltip for sure. One of the other things that's nice about going up to level 2 on the Skeletal Warrior is that our maximum life went up, and since we still are using instability, which is 15% maximum life, so that's 12 plus 6, so it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 18 damage every time those guys explode. 18 to 20. So we got a nice little bump to just what they do when they're out on the field. Their survivability went up just a little bit, and when they are inevitably brought down by a minion, they'll explode and give them a nice little parting shot on their way out the door. And I don't think that the bone constructs have like a life total per se. I don't think they get killed. I could be wrong about that, because you do have support gems that seem to supply that. But they do just wear off over time. I don't know if they explode when they cease to be at, or they just go back to where they came from. But that would be an interesting thing to know a little bit more about. If you know answers to things like that, whenever I'm like coming up with ideas like that, like put them in the chat or in the comments, because I would love to know. You know, I work, I have kids, I do other things, so I don't read all the stuff. I don't go and check all the forums. I watch all the YouTubes. I watch some of them, but I don't watch many of them. Because honestly, I'd rather be playing than watching somebody else play. Which is funny, because here I am asking you to watch me play. But there was, you know, I've mentioned it in my first video, but there was a time in my life when I didn't have time to play a game. So a lot of times I would watch someone else play the game. That seems to me to be the main function of YouTubers playing games. Other than, you know, entertainment value if they're silly. Like, I can see watching like a Fallout style game because someone's actually role-playing their character a bit more. But I digress. One of the reasons I do this is for someone that doesn't have the time. This Essence Drain spell, at least at this stage of the game, look at how much extra damage it's doing. So it's dealing some upfront damage that's like roughly 2 times as much as I was dealing with my Chaos Bolt. And then it's dealing way more of that damage over as a damage over time. So that's pretty good. I'm pretty impressed with that. I didn't take that with my other character. I'm gonna take these boots because 10% increased movement speed, especially this early in the game, that's the difference between being able to dodge a really high damage attack and just being caught on the edge of it and then dying. Plus we get a little bit of extra life, we get armor and evasion rating, we get some resistance, two types of resistance. The life regeneration is decent too. That's just an all-around really nice find. A yellow item that early is pretty good. So it's great that I went to go fight this boss. I'll go ahead and pop some extra strength into Unearth here. It goes up to level 2 and does just like I thought. 3 more points of damage. That increases its odds of generating a bone construct by killing something, and just gives us a, you know, a steady increase to our damage output for this character. Again, I gotta pay attention and see if I find a focus, because I think we are gonna go main hand Sceptre often than focus. It's not something I did with this character or with the witch and the other character, so I'm interested in trying it here just to see what that does. It actually does seem like it at least promises the possibility of that. To pick up that life flask, it's probably better than the one I've got. One thing to pay attention to about life flasks though is when you find them in the wild, if you equip them, they come in, they empty. So there's a point very early in the game where they tempt you by sticking the boss right next to its flasks. When the mistake you'll make as a new player is you'll immediately equip what appears to be a better flask, but since it's empty, you'll go into the boss fight and have no flask, and she's a pretty tough boss to beat when you don't know what she does, because she teleports a lot and does a lot of magic attacks. Chaos attacks too, which deal a lot of damage. Yeah, so Essence Drain is nice because what you can do with that is you can just guarantee that your spread of contagion happens really quickly. Hey, we got our Twig Focus. It's just a normal one, so it's not going to be amazing, but we'll go ahead and do the thing. just gives us energy shield, so our base Sacred Focus with no enchantment on it is kind of bad. But it's still better than a wand that we weren't using the skill on. So a little bit more energy shield, just boost our survivability, and hopefully we'll get to replace that with something that does something soon. Does something more. Oh, there we go. We got a great spread from that contagion. We didn't have a minion in sight, and we killed all over the world with just, you know, 2 buttons essentially. Look at that. That is just insane. I'm not even casting my firewall. And here we go. This is that one that I was talking about. So we can get some nice flasks here, but the problem is, if we equip them, we'd have an empty flask, and then we'd be facing this potentially difficult boss with no safety net. Luckily, we're dealing just a ridiculous amount of damage with this character, and we were able to face her pretty easily. A level 2 Chaos Bolt, nowhere near as good, I don't think, as a Essence Drain still. But let's take a look at it. Level 2 Chaos Bolt. Oh, look at that. It is about the same. It did jump up its DPS pretty high. That's being buffed by the fact that we have so much points in our skill tree and what they're doing. And then let's just look. That was 23 damage. Essence Drain is doing 26. And then it's adding that DOT that does a ton more. So we're getting a lot more damage. We're getting 5 times the amount of damage. Sure, we have to wait for some of it until it's fine. But Essence Drain is just a superior spell. We'll go ahead and talk to Una when we go back to camp here. I think that's when she gives us like a skill gem or something. Support gem. What time is it? Oh dear, I need to cut this short real soon here. What's our total time looking at? We're at 12. It's almost bedtime over here in Kermit Land. Oh, we forgot to put this back on our skeleton. We can go ahead and equip these flasks. They're basic flasks, but they give us 90 life over 5 seconds and have a little bit more on charges too. Number of charges is better. Do our support gem. They'll deal less damage up front, but when they explode, because they have 50% more maximum life, they're going to deal a lot more damage. They're going to explode less though. So I don't know, that just seems like a weird one to even bother with. Contagion, magnified effect. It'll spread a little bit easier with magnified effect. 35% more non-ailment damage. Is contagion considered an ailment? Huh. Interesting. So our minion modifier, when those bone constructs have contagion on them, they're dealing more damage up front and they're spreading contagions. That's huge. That's wild. What is their damage? 12 per second. That's wild. Yeah, that's really cool. Let's see. Essence Drain. Ooh, can we make an Essence Drain better? One thing that I hate is that I wish I could have persistence on Essence Drain at the same time too, make it do more, but you can only have one of each type of support gem. Like you can have more than one of the attribute requirement, but you can't have more than one persistence. So let's see, is Essence Drain non-ailment damage? Because that would be a good one to throw some points at. Yeah, I think it's non-ailment. So let's do that. Let's grab Sweet Affliction. It's going to deal a lot more damage. over time on its damage over time. Yeah, look at that. So it's gone up. It does 60 damage. 66 damage. That doesn't feel like it's a... That doesn't seem like it's a whole lot more. What was it before? .23 over 4 seconds. So that's 82, and then it goes... Oh, because it has 20% less duration. So what are we doing with that? What we're doing with that is we're getting more of our damage up front. We're getting more of our damage faster. And it's slightly less damage too, but we're getting it faster. I still think that's good. It's a little bit dissatisfying that it is less total damage, but it's more damage faster. So that's just gonna kill your targets quicker. It's still pretty good. That's not necessarily better unless we wanted fire resistance, so I'm not going to bother. What do we get from Una? That's a quest to go to the Grim Tangle. We do need to buy from you. We need to buy another stack of Scrolls of Wisdom. We don't want that because we've got movement speed on our boots. Movement speed is just insane on a pair of boots, especially this early. I don't think I usually find that this early in the game. Bone Blast. Bone Blast is probably a good spell. I don't like it. You can basically explode corpses, I think, with that. It probably does. It's probably a good damage output, but I'm focusing on my my applied dots, and hopefully we get to the point here where corruption is doing all that stuff for us. So what we want to do now is we want to go to the Grim Tangle, grab our waypoint, and maybe fight the boss there. That's back to Clearfell. We don't need that. We want to find the Grim Tangle, which I don't believe we already found on this version of this map. It was reset on that just grabbing some bone constructs there. That's why I did that. Cast. We're just dealing a lot of damage. It's great. Ooh, that was one of our minions exploding and taking everything within radius. That was really nice. Yeah, Essence Strain just does a ridiculous damage. It's doing it a lot faster now. We might consider when we go up against a boss, if we remember, taking out that more damage quickly, because something that has a higher life total, we care more about just dealing more numerical damage, not about how fast it does, because it's gonna, whatever that thing is gonna be alive for a while when it's got, 1,000,000 hit points, or however many. It's like Power Word Death, kind of that old D&D spell. I just put my stuff at these guys, they die. I actually like the extra upfront damage. That's really good. There we go. There's our Grim Tangle. We found this. Is it better than the one we have? Oh yes, it is. Increase the spirit. That's one of the things you're looking for on these scepters. That increase the spirit means that now I'm not quite there, but when I take the level 2 on the skeletal archers, I'll be able to summon 2. Or if I take a skeletal arsonist, which is probably what I'm really going to do, I should be able to summon 2 straight from the get-go. And 2 is better than 1. 2 is more damage, 2 is more explosions, 2 is more elemental damage too from those arsonists. You do pretty much, you kind of do want to replace the archers with arsonists as quick as you can, because pound for pound they just do a lot better. So what we're going to try to do to put an end to this video is we're going to try to find the next boss in this zone. I believe it's a druid that lives here in the Grim Tangle. You don't have to fight him, but if you do, you know, it's a good fight, you know, training purposes, and it's just all the bosses in this game give you cool stuff. Some of them give you permanent upgrades to your stats, and the ones that don't will give you a support gem or something that you need to make your character slightly better. And, you know, the whole time you're going to be earning experience. I'm going to run a boring twig circlet. Spread that contagion. Look at that. All those guys are dying. There's so many more bone constructs. You know, this is where things start to get really fun with the necromancer, in my opinion. I keep calling her necromancer with a witch, when she can just plow through armies. We actually have a really good magical scepter now, so especially that again that extra spirit is something you really are looking for. If you're playing a witch that does minions. More spirit is more minions, more damage. Easiest way to say it.
Beautify.
So there's the Cemetery of the Eternals. If we wanted to advance through the story, that could get us there. Finding the forge. I guess we need to talk to Renly again. I'm not sure what that's about. I don't know what that's about at all. I know I've done it before, but I don't remember what it was. Well, we'll talk to him before we call it quits. Just gotta find our bad guy. One of the things you gotta watch out for is these zombies do leave like a toxic cloud around them when they die. You know, at this phase of the game, it's not that big a deal. Here's our boss. But it gets pretty quickly to where that can really sap your life total. Oh yeah, and this would have been a great point to change out my my gem to you know, more long-term damage. I didn't think about it. This guy does just all sorts of really powerful attacks. The extra move speed is helping a little bit here to try and get me out of the way of some of these things. That's one that I could have dodged out of the way of. You do want to watch out. You don't want to stand in those mushrooms there. He has a teleport attack. This is going to teleport me into the field of mushrooms, so I just rolled right out. Oh yeah, look at that. So, oh, that's crazy. So Essence Rain, if it goes through the flame wall, it actually does add a little bit of fire damage to it. Let's see exactly how much that is. 3 to 5 fire damage. So, you know, on an attack that's already dealing 26 plus a huge 80 point damage over time, like 3 to 5 is chump change really, but it's something. It's adding something just for doing a thing that you already want to do. So we were successful. We killed that boss. When we come back, we'll be going through the Grim Tangle to go to that cemetery that we found. That we killed that boss. We got a bunch of cool stuff. I think we got a skill gem. I'm not sure whether we got that from our bad guys. So we need a level 3 skill gem to get the Arsonist. I'm not thrilled to get another sniper here, but it is going to lower our spirit cost to 65 per sniper, and it's going to allow us to summon 2. So until we do replace it with Arsonist, we do have stronger. And the cool thing about this too is that as level 2, they are better too. What did they do? Maximum life 77, armor 50. Does it say how much damage? Oh, these guys are exploding too. I forgot about that. Basic attacks. It doesn't even say what their damage is. I guess it doesn't even. No, it doesn't say it on there either. I wonder if they just apply cold. If that's the whole purpose of their existence, is to apply cold. That's weird. Does comorbidity give us... I'm going to do, for science here, I'm going to stick comorbidity on there. Do I apply poison on attack now? I'm going to go run real quick. Just back out here. I want to see how that works. Are we adding poison? Doesn't look like it. So usually you see debuffs added underneath the health bar. And since I'm not seeing that, I really don't think we're getting poison from that. And I know there's stuff on other skill gems that you can get that do make all of your hits add poison. If I remember how to do that, I'll do a video on it. This is no good. This is like a monk. That's like a monk set of gloves there. This is a nice warrior item, maybe. Not something we could do. Although I've heard there is a sort of necromancer build that does use Great Hammer, but it just seems like what you really want is you want your scepter as a witch. Where are you, Una? You're over here. Oh yeah, we were going to talk to Renly.
I heard you had him for the village.
So he just wants us to go to Ogden Village, and I guess what he's going to do is he'll give us this bench here that'll allow us to deconstruct items. And I would check this. A lot of times when you see an item that has like a ton of additions to it, you can go and smash it and it'll give you some really cool stuff. Better than what you get from disenchanting, because these regal shards, these are kind of a dime a dozen. I'm doing it now because this is a solo self-found character and I'm not sure that I'm going to have that many, but there's no point in doing it on these blue items. But eventually I'll start checking the items that I find to see if they smash into something. Usually before you disenchant or smash something, it'll tell you what you get for them, and that can be super important. So anyway, we're going to call it quits for now. If you like the video, please subscribe and make sure to leave comments. Tell me how bad I'm doing, what I can do better, and if I had any weird questions that came across that I didn't know the answer to, please let me know. I'm Cook the Streamer. Have a great time. Hope you enjoyed this stream and are having a good time in life in general. Take care.